There is a brand new wave of new home communities coming online in Overland Park in 2025 and 2026, but this one is one of the only ones with homes available in the next 30 to 90 days at this price point, in this location, and in the highly sought after Blue Valley School District. In this one, we're going to show you two brand new homes. They're both 1.5 stories with the master on the main. Before we get to house number 2, we're going to start right here with the Ryder Expanded by Lamandola Custom Homes. This one is 5 beds, 3.5 baths, 2930 square feet. It's priced just under $860,000. While it's a model that's not for sale just yet, they have several spec homes we're going to tell you about later on in the video. I'm a big fan of this elevation. You got the stone, the stained accents, the front porch. It checks all the boxes. And this is the view as soon as you step inside. We'll give you a little sneak peek before we throw the floor plan on the screen. But you'll notice that this one, 1.5 story masters on the main. We also have a secondary bedroom / office / flex room, and not just vaulted ceilings in the great room, but we also have a loft upstairs, which is a big deal. But starting with the entry, 8-foot French doors, you got the glass panel in them, so you're getting a ton of light in here. We'll notice throughout the house, the main floor, we've got these 8-foot doors. It's one of my favorite upgrades to see when it comes to new homes. So if you're building, this is one that I would absolutely look into. All the way up to the 2-story ceilings, we've got these tall windows. And once we get to the second floor, you get a nice catwalk overlooking this whole view. But we mentioned you do have an office / secondary bedroom right here. I like how this is tucked off the entry. A lot of the times when we see this, you've got the staircase sometimes in the back of the house, or you're walking into the staircase. This is a great placement because it keeps everything separate from the master, which you'll see on the other side of the house. If we back up a little bit, I do want to point out, this is like the perfect door for an office. You've got the open light door, glass panel, super tall, and then we are actually going to wrap around to the half bath. You'll notice there is in fact a coat closet off the entry, but I like that this one also has the formal entry, so you're not like stepping into the great room. Half bath right here is a great add, because a lot of times what we'll see is like a full bathroom that's shared with a bedroom, but I like how that keeps everything separate. So here in the great room, we mentioned at the beginning of the video, this one has a loft. It also has tall ceilings and a vault in the middle. You're not always going to see that when it comes to a 1.5 story, and that's partly because of what you'll see upstairs. But the fireplace, I think this is a great touch here. You've got the stained accents going all the way up to the ceiling. You got the traditional surround, and I love how all of this ties in very well, especially once you take a look at the dry bar here. You've got the tile backsplash, it's all the way up to the ceiling, stained floating shelves, stained lowers, and even the beverage cooler right on the end there. But a couple of things about this kitchen. We don't see all stained cabinets rarely ever anymore. I love what they did here. I get a lot of questions from clients when they're building, what should we stain, what should we paint? This is a great touch. It balances out the stain balances out the white. One thing I'm starting to hear quite a bit is people are tired of the white cabinets, and I think this handles the balance very, very well. But right here, you've got a pretty good sized vanity, sinks in the middle. You got an extra wide gas cooktop back there, and of course the herringbone tile on the backsplash. Right around the corner, we've got great sized pantry. You even have a prep space to the right, face frame shelving, and we will see at a couple spots throughout the house, they upgraded the cabinets quite a bit. But coming back here, modern light fixture, you saw the elevation. It had that kind of striking modern look to it. So this complements it very well. And then we are actually going to take a look at the backyard, because I do want to point out where this community is located. This one is called Riverstone Valley in South Overland Park. It falls in the highly sought after Blue Valley School District. There's a wave of new home communities coming online here at Overland Park over the next year or two. The difference with this one, a lot of those communities are at ground stage, roads, utilities are just going in now. This is one of the only communities where you've got homes available in the next 30 to 90 days and even beyond that. So I'll put the plat map on the screen so you can see it. All the blue ones that you're seeing, those are all homes that are under construction or being built right now. And then, of course, all of the green, you've got plenty of different lots to choose from. And as you'll see, they have estate-sized lots that are planned for the back of the community. They're just absolutely beautiful. I'll put a drone clip on the screen. Those are subject to change. The developers of this one are J.S. Robinson Fine Homes and Don Julian Builders, some of the most respected developers and builders in all of Kansas City. In fact, stick around for house number 2. It's a plan that we have not shown on the channel before, and I'm excited for you to see it. We mentioned the prices in the beginning of the video. The median price here in the Blue Valley School District, South Overland Park, this side of the highway, is well over $950,000. It's breaking the 1 million mark, but here, where the prices are starting at $750,000, there's even a house in the market, Timberland Reverse by Newmark Homes, for just under $770,000 on a walkout lot, which if you watch the channel, you know that those typically command quite a premium, but they're able to get that in price point that's kind of hard to find in this part of the city. We're minutes away from the Overland Park Arboretum and Botanical Gardens. We're just down the street from Heritage Park, which has acres and acres of trails, green space, dog parks, soccer fields, football fields, all of the above. And when it comes to amenities, they will be opening in summer of 2026. The renders will be on the screen right here. It's a beautifully designed clubhouse. Of course, these developers always do a tremendous job. So you've got the clubhouse, pool, sports court. And on top of all of that, we mentioned Blue Valley Schools. We're within like walking distance of the brand new elementary school. We're about 5 to 6 minutes away from the middle school and high school. And we're gonna break down a little bit more about the community throughout the rest of the video. But coming back inside, one thing I mentioned in all the videos, we're gonna pan to the windows. They got black windows on the outside, which that adds to the cost. They weather differently when they get sun exposure. So they have to be made with different materials to maintain that color. But as we make our way around to the master suite here, this is where we start to get into some of the spaces that are a little bit bigger than we see in a lot of 1.5 story homes, especially at this price point in Overland Park. So coming into the master, we've got some really tall ceilings, box vault. They added the recessed lights, which standard for a lot of builders is just one fixture in the center of the room. You've got the accent wall that's nice and traditional. And then right around here, they even added, I want to call them transom windows above the single hung. And you saw that access to the porch right here, which I'm a big fan of this. Gives you a little bit more light here. And then, of course, if you like to drink coffee, read in the mornings, this is a great spot for it. But as we move into the bathroom here, this is one of those spaces where you walk in, you notice the space between the vanity and the shower, which is just to the left here. This is actually a pretty big one too. You have a bench from wall to wall all the way in the back. So it's not like one of the corner benches that it's like, could you really sit on that? Plenty of space there. And then you do have the freestanding tub, the board and batten trim around. And I love that they frosted the window there. One of the biggest things I get when I'm touring with clients through homes is like, why is the window wide open? I'm glad they took the extra step to do that. But here, wall to wall, dual vanity, towers in the middle. And this is really the space that I'm talking about. A lot of homes, you know, we might have this much space between the end of the wall and the start of the vanity. So I like that you get that. Water closet is straight back. And then as we wrap around to the master closet, there's a lot that they did really well here. You've got the dresser straight back. Most master closets, even at this price point, even at higher price points, they tend to just be faced frame shelving. So I love that you get the shoe storage, both sides, and then all of the drawers right there, which is a big deal. But coming into the laundry room, I've got a client right now who she would much rather prefer to have a prep top than a sink in the laundry room. What you'll see in most homes, especially in the laundry, if you do have a sink, usually like this is your counter space. You've got all of this right here, which is the best of both worlds. Baskets go right under it. Around the corner, we've got the built-in And of course, space for the washer, dryer. And I love that you even have the cabinet under the sink right here. The next space that feels bigger than most homes that we go through is this boot bench right here. I love that they stained it. It goes really well with the rest of the house. And then of course, you've got the hooks installed. The shelf above is a great look. But Alex, I'm gonna have you, maybe if we come this way and take a look into it, I mean, you got a ton of space there. If you were to build it, if you wanted extra storage, you might be able to add a drop zone cabinet to the right of the door, but it gives you a little bit more room, especially when you're coming into the house. Sometimes those parts of plans can feel a little tight, especially when you have the master on the main floor. But we are going to head upstairs. I will put the upstairs plan on the screen right here. As we do, you'll notice they were able to get 2 extra windows here, and they're under that covered porch, which still gives you quite a bit of light. Tons of windows up here. So this feels nice, bright, open, and a little bit bigger than it would if it was kind of darker, you didn't have all the windows. This is a big deal. We talked about it in the great room. You had that ceiling vault. Not every day will we see a loft with a 1.5 story home, but in this video, we've got 2 of them. So make sure to stick around for the second one. In case you're wondering, like, how would we use this space? This is the perfect wall for a media center or a wall-to-wall desk right here for studying, etc. This is a space you're just not going to find in a lot of plans, especially when you're around 3,000 square feet. So here's where we get to the design that I think they did really well. This is actually the private bathroom, but you'll notice you've got access to it. So the kids have friends over, they're not having to go through a Jack and Jill bathroom or anything like that. They're also not having to go through a bedroom or anything. Around the corner, I really like what they did here. Good sized bedrooms. And then you'll see you get a little bit of a hallway into that bathroom. The closet's just straight ahead. And then we'll go ahead and show, just so you can get an idea of it, the size of this one. A little bit bigger than what we saw on the main floor. And then you get the window overlooking the backyard. But we are going to turn around the next 2. We've got like a Hollywood style bathroom. So this one, really like it. It's at the back of the room, but here we go. Very similar size to the first one. And then as we come this way, you've got the closet off to the left. The vanity, a lot of times in secondary bedrooms, they'll do what's called a cultured marble. I like that they went ahead. You've got the full thickness right here. I don't know what material this is. It looks like a quartz. It's matte. It's got a great finish to it. And then as we come around the corner, we've got a couple doors here. So tiled shower, toilet. We'll make our way over to the second part of the Hollywood bathroom. And then this bedroom overlooks the front of the house here. And finally, we've got our third walk-in closet right here. So all 3 bedrooms up, walk-in closet, 2 full bathrooms up, and a loft. But before we get to house number 2, I did want to go over the builder lineup because these are some of the best builders in Kansas City. I'm going to show you drone footage of each of the models. They're not all complete, so make sure you subscribe. We'll do a video on each of them here in the future. The one we were just in, Lamandola Custom Homes, they built here at Overland Park. They've also built in Olathe, Spring Hill. They hit a price point that's really hard to hit, especially the Blue Valley School District, which I thought they did a great job in this home. The second builder we're going to show you, J.S. Robinson Fine Homes. We actually showed one of theirs last week at Bristol Highlands. It was the Delmar plan. This one, it's well under $1 million. It has the same high-end finishes that you could expect to see in that one. We've also got Newmark Homes, who Don Julian, one of the developers, helped found. They build all over Kansas City, one of the biggest builders here in the metro area. We showed a clip of one of their Timberland reverses on a walkout that's under $770,000. They also have what will be the future model sales office out here right at the corner of Model Row. Hillman Home Building. We showed them in a video a few weeks back. They build some excellent 2-story, 1.5-story, And really, their ranch reverse plan called the Chesapeake is a fan favorite around Kansas City, but they've got a brand new model called the Santa Barbara coming up that I'm excited to showcase. JFE Construction, we showed one of their homes in Century Farms in Overland Park. Their model is just to the left of house number 1 that we started with, and I'm really excited to take a look. I think the entry of the home looks beautiful from the curb. Any questions buying, building a new construction home in Kansas City, whether it's which builder suits your needs the best, price point, the difference between building, buying a home that's already under construction or complete, etc. This is what I do every single day of the week, and I'd love to put all of this information to work for you. So give me a phone call, email, or send me a text message, and I'd love to set you up for success. With that said, we're moving to house number 2, which is called the Cypress 1.5 by J.S. Robinson Fine Homes. Price comes in just under $900,000. This one's not for sale, but they do have ones under construction that are. It's 4 beds, 3.5 baths, 3,367 square feet, has a loft and a bonus office, all in addition to that. Now, as soon as you step inside, we've got just a beautiful, you got all those windows and the vaulted porch back there, 2-story ceilings. The theme of the video seems to be 1.5 stories, tall ceilings, loft space upstairs. This plan, I haven't seen it before. I think this is the first time they've built this one in a subdivision. They've built this a few times in Prairie Village, which is a big market for teardowns and new builds. So this is a fresh one for the channel. We'll put the floor plan on the screen. Very unique staircase going up. We'll show it to you here in just a moment, but this one checks a lot of boxes. So starting with the entry, you get the 8-foot door, which you'll see those throughout the main floor of this one as well. Long traditional entry. And then of course you've got the perfect drop station right here. You can see how they've got it staged. 2-story ceilings. And we've got to save the staircase because the way they've configured this, I really like. But really the golden crown of the plan here, 2-story ceilings. I know a lot of people, even when it comes to 2-story homes, with this being a 1.5, this is a big draw for a lot of folks. You get the catwalks that are exposed. And of course, I love what they did with the fireplace. This hearth will get you a close-up. I believe this is quartzite. It's weathered, so you've got some texture on it, and it just looks really good. I know this is a model home, but this builder, J.S. Robinson Fine Homes, they do outstanding finishes in all of their homes, and you can see a lot of them on the channel. The other thing is we are going to kind of swing this way a little bit. We'll go out into the porch here in a moment. I love that they've got that vault, but just this view, you can see the entirety of the backyard. They planted some landscaping / privacy trees in the back. But if we swing this way, Alex, I want to showcase the built-ins there. You got the floating shelves, and then of course all of the down lighting. But I really like what they did, not just with the fireplace surround. I know I'm backtracking just a little bit here, but the accent color going it really draws your eyes to the volume and the heights of the ceiling. But making our way to the kitchen, another pattern throughout this video. In the Lamandola house, we saw a mix of stain and lighter painted cabinets in the kitchen. We've got something very similar here. You've got the white island, some white perimeter cabinets, and then we've got just the beautiful stain where you can really see the grain of, this is actually one of my favorite stain colors. We've been seeing it quite a few homes recently, and it's just got a very sharp look. But you've got this nice matte leathered or suede top, which feels really good. I'm a big fan of this as opposed to like a polished countertop, which you'll see in a lot of different homes. But back here, we've got the extra wide gas cooktop, ceramic tile backsplash. And I do want to point out, because we mentioned it in house number 1, we've got like a dry bar / breakfast bar right here. So same tile, backsplash, floating shelves, all the down lighting, which is great to see. We start to see that around like the 800s, 900s and up. And of course, you do have the beverage cooler right here. Now we will get to the dining room, where you get to the patio. There's an office, which is a great spot for it that I'm going to show you in just a moment. But I do want to start, we're going to hook a left around to the garage entry, which the reason I like this so much is you've got some separation from the main living spaces. So you're getting home, you've got the boot bench right here, a coat closet, right here as well, which is a little bit deeper than you'd expect from just looking at the door. And then around to the left, we have an extra wide vanity for a half bath, and beautiful countertops. You're gonna see quite a few good ones. We'll get you a close-up of some of the veining in there. I thought that that was just gorgeous. And then of course you've got the stain as well. But around the corner from that, so this is right behind the kitchen here, we've got these, I want to say sage green. I'm always off on the colors, but face frame shelving. You've got an extra deep prep top right here and just plenty of shelf. I love what they did here. A lot of the time, you know, we're really just seeing white enamel, so seeing a little hint of color there is a great look. And then of course, last two things here, drop zone. So whether this is for shoes, books, etc., I love that you've got the extra storage space. And then before we get to the dining room, the office in the back of the plan, we're gonna head outside. And Alex, if you swing around a little bit, super tall, black sliding door. It's got a great look. It goes really well with the fireplace and the doors to the office that you'll see in just a moment. But outside, I'm a big fan. Last week's video, we showed you the Del Mar by J.S. Robinson. They did this extra pad right here, there as well. I love that they do that because it gives you plenty of extra space for entertaining. They did go ahead and upgrade it with the diamond cut. So just aesthetically looks pretty good. And then the other thing I like is you get the full width step right there, which mitigates this step down from the patio slab to the backyard. Sometimes if you don't have that step, it can feel a little steep. And then of course on the drone footage, you can see all the landscaping trees out back. But heading back in, last couple of things on the main floor before we head upstairs. We've got the dining room, the office. We're gonna head across the plan to the master, and then we'll show you the loft upstairs, which is a great spot. But I love the placement of this. It's right off the kitchen. You've got quite a bit of length. This is a fairly big table when it comes to staging furniture, so you could definitely fit something a little bit bigger if you wanted to. Out back, you can see the privacy landscaping. This is one of my favorite parts of the plan, not just because of the decorative sliding French doors there, but because of the placement. It's on the opposite end of the house from the master, so you get separation. This is also a bonus. It's in addition to the 4 bedrooms that we called out at the beginning of the video. You also have a closet right back here, and this is currently being used as the sales office because they're going to open up the one right next door here very shortly. But heading across the plan, we'll give you another view, at least from the main level of this fire. I just love the height here. I know a lot of you, when you reach out, especially with a 1.5 story, a lot of you are looking for these 2-story ceilings. This is definitely at the top of like my 1.5 story floor plans list. But coming in here, we've got all the things that we typically see in J.S. Robinson homes. You've got the box vault, the 4 recessed lights, upgraded light fixture. Of course, you've got the very subtle but tasteful accent wall, upgraded luxury carpet, and we even have casement windows in the back. But coming into the bathroom, ton of space here, very similar to house number 1. You've got the wall-to-wall vanity, tower going all the way up to the ceiling, and then around the corner, freestanding tub, window, and of course, a pretty sizable shower here, rain head, transom window, which is great for light. And then of course, you've got the bench in there as well. Around the corner, last part of the main floor, water closet. We've got the master closet, which I love that you get all of the shoe storage right here, and right here, the bench overlooking the front yard. And of course, you even have the dresser as well. But before we head upstairs, laundry room, pattern tile. Of course, you've got a prep top built in, and we will put that plan on the screen right here. Because this landing up here, it's one of the most unique things we've seen in a second floor, 1.5 story, probably on the channel as a whole. So off to your right, we've got all the bedrooms. Off to your left, we have one of the biggest lofts that we've seen on the channel. This one is huge. It could be a study area for the kids. It could be its own rec room, a second living space like you see it right here. I mean, I think they've got it staged very nicely. You've got casement windows in the front. And on top of all of this, You also have, and I'm sure if you wanted to build this, that this could be its own bedroom, but right back here, you've got a pretty good sized closet there as well. But I like that this is all kind of separate from the bedrooms. This staircase creates a little bit of separation. And as we head over this way, I do want to get you a shot of the 2-story ceilings. This catwalk, I know when you've got the 2-story ceilings, you're able to see everything. You've got a clear vantage point in the house, but the scale of that fireplace just really stands out. And that brings us over to the first bedroom, which if you've got anybody in the family that likes to read, this would be the room for you. You've got the whole reading nook, the bench overlooking the front yard, and we see another instance of that green we saw in the pantry. The other nice thing in here, you do have upgraded carpet, which a lot of builders don't do this in secondary bedrooms. This is a model, but a great, great look. And then coming around the corner, well, actually, I'm gonna trade spots with you, Alex. This is the private bathroom. You've got the upgraded countertop there. Closet is on the other side. We've got the shower right here and the toilet. And then, of course, we also have the walk-in closet around the corner. But the catwalk continues. So we showed you one vantage spot. Around the corner is the second. Before we get to those, you've got the linen closet. And then this would be bedroom number 2. I love that you get the good-sized windows in here. And this one actually is a Hollywood bathroom. Box vault gives you more light. You've got a walk-in closet right here. And then I know a lot of the time when we go through Hollywood bathrooms or Jack and Jill's, it can feel really tight. There are like a lot of doors every which way you turn. This one's different. So first thing that you'll see, upgraded countertops for a secondary bathroom. We've got the tub shower right here. Another closet, because you can never have too much storage. And then, of course, this all leads to the second vanity, which the space you get here is incredible. And just to our right, we've got our third walk-in closet upstairs. But ending things off, we've got our bedroom number 4, bedroom number 3 upstairs. You're overlooking the back of the house, tall ceilings, upgraded carpet. And that is all for this one. Any questions buying, building a new construction home in Kansas City? Feel free, give me a phone call, text message, email. We go through different communities, go through different builders, floor plans every single week. And I'd love to put all of this information to work for you. Big thank you to both of the builders we featured in this video and the developers, Don Julian Builders, JS Robinson at Fine Homes, and of course, the on-site agents, Jenny and Carrie. I'll put the community website down below in the description. With that said, there are 2 videos on the screen. This is a video featuring a number of different new home communities here in Overland Park. You can click right there to see it, or this is the video YouTube thinks you'd enjoy the most. So click there or here, and I'll see you on the other side.